Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over a story titled, My Fiancée, a 30-year-old female, ghosted her job while pretending to go to work due to anxiety about getting promoted. She has since lost her job and is upset that I am upset. And big shout out to Joseph for sending me this story. And guys, what we have here is a story that was sent to me. It's online. It's about a guy who has dumped his fiancée and has now unleashed his lawyer upon her after she decided to go after him online and post all these nasty, untrue things about him, along with one of her friends, and go after his job and try to get him fired. Why, you may ask? Because God forbid he decided to break up with her when he recognized and saw how deceitful she'd been to him, and he had enough, realizing that would be his future if he married her. Total freaking meltdown. And of course, as you can imagine, when accusations are placed, who do people tend to believe? Fortunately, this guy's handling this well, and hopefully it will work out for him. And I'm doing this one, guys, as a perfect example of why I say all the time, if you're a relationship guy, and for whatever reason, you want to get married one day, your culture, your religion, whatever that may be, you must spend years getting to know your girl. Because if you don't, things like this can happen while you're already married to her. And you're going to see the reason he broke up with her is because she was about to get a promotion at her job. She claimed that she had a lot of anxiety about the new responsibilities and the title and everything. So she pretended to go to work when she actually was skipping work, and she got fired. She sabotaged her whole situation and wanted him to pay for everything. No. When you're with a girl a long time, you can see real life things happening to her and how she handles them. But if you're with her too quickly, and real life doesn't happen yet, you're then already married to her and things could happen. So that'll be a very good one to go over here, guys. And of course, women cannot take rejection, and they either respond to it one of two ways. Either they become obsessed with you and chase after you to get you back, or it is hell hath no fury, which is what we have here. So it starts off, it says here, she, Rose, has been in her company for the past 6 years, and she works an office job in a non-customer facing company. We've also been together for the past 5 years and put off our wedding due to graduating and after COVID. So he's been with her for 5 years, and even then, he didn't really know her or see her true character. 5 years. Recently, she was chosen to be promoted to a position in a different department after someone was leaving the company, and we knew about the promotion for some time. The woman who was leaving wasn't leaving until a certain date, but she was excited about the raise and getting promoted to a manager after years of wanting to be one. However, as she neared closer to the date of promotion, she began to ghost her job and ignore various warnings and calls about absences because of her anxiety surrounding it. Anxiety she never chose to voice until after she'd been fired for ghosting them for weeks. So you got people in this world that definitely have anxiety and things like that. Fine. Get treatment for it. Deal with it. You have to be a grown-up adult in this world, and you can't just disappear from your job and sabotage your situation so you get fired and then expect everybody to be so understanding and take care of you. Okay? That's not going to work. All right? That's bullshit. And understandably, this guy has a good reason to be upset. She would go to work in the morning and return at the same time in her normal outfit when the shift would end. But after she got fired, she wanted to talk to me. And she told me that she lied about going to work for the past 2.5 weeks. And when I asked her about what happened, she said that her team wanted to throw her a small party to celebrate promotion before she would leave. Oh, God forbid. But the party made her anxious because she doesn't like to be celebrated because it's embarrassing. She also said that public speaking gave her anxiety too. And after learning that she would have to say a few words in a bigger joint meeting after receiving a new promotion, she couldn't bring herself to go to work right now and found other things to do during the time she was supposed to be there. Grow the F up. Welcome to real life. You have to do things you may not always be comfortable with and like. But you know what? Someone with strength and character and determination will overcome these fears and accept new challenges to better themselves, for their own career, for their husband, their family, all that. But instead, she's acting like a child and expects him to just accept it and deal with it. Bullshit. Because I guarantee you, if he did the same thing, you don't think she'll be very happy about that? How many women out there would be suddenly pretty pissed off if all of a sudden their husband lost a job because he was scared about saying a few words at a celebration party, or nervous about the responsibilities of promotion and lost his job? They'd be pretty pissed off. Guaranteed. And you know what? They'd have a right to be, because he's acting like a weak bitch. She said that she'd often stay in her car on her phone or go to the gym or at a friend's house sometimes. And over the course of those 2 weeks, she ignored calls and emails from her job on her absences until she was fired after numerous warnings. She's since said that she wants to go to therapy to work on her anxiety before looking for a new job, and she asked if I could cover the expenses in the meantime. Well, guess what? If she stayed at the job, probably through her health care plan, would no doubt cover the therapy costs or most of it, but instead, oh no, could you do it, sweetheart? Oh, no. I told her no, because she first lied about going to work for over 2 weeks, got dressed, and only wanted to talk after getting fired. I told her I didn't appreciate her lying or entitlement to ask me to cover her bills for a few months before she searches for a new job, and she says I was being unfair because she's planning to go to therapy. Yeah, well, your word isn't meaning a whole lot right now because you've been lying all this time, and you've proven that I can't rely on you. Again, if the situation was reversed, you think she wouldn't be pissed? Come on here. We're in the era of equality, so men and women should be treated equally, right? So therefore, she should be held accountable for her actions, because believe me, he'd be in the doghouse with her if he did the same thing. We all know it. She'd say, be a freaking man. Do what you got to do. So it's equal here. Continues, he says, while I told her therapy is good, I said I need a break to reconsider our relationship/engagement away from her, and she was fine with staying with a friend for a few days. Bullshit. Anytime a woman says that she's fine with anything, that's complete BS. You know, it just says, that's fine, I'm fine, we're fine. No. You're anything but fine. However, when I called 2 days later and said I was done and wanted her to remove her whatever belongings I was done with her and wanted her to remove whatever belongings she didn't take with her, she and her friend began posting that I hit her when we talked, which is why she's breaking it off with me. Imagine that. 5 years together, everything seemed cool, getting married, and he told her he needs some time away from her because blah, 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 broke up with her, and all of a sudden, magically, oh, well, he got violent. He did this. And they had to start posting it online for the world to see. This is not just someone that has anxiety or things like that. This is a vicious, nasty person, okay? And here we go, uncovering her true colors. This is how she deals with rejection and problems. And what I tell you about how they don't like rejection too much. This jeopardizes his life, relationships with friends, family, and wait till you see with the job. How many times have you heard stories like this? And typically, who do people generally believe? The guy or the gal? He says here, aside from texting mutual friends, she's also reached out to my job and had me talk to about it for my boss when I had no clue and found out during the meeting. Can you imagine that, going to work and finding out your boss is saying, what's this I hear about you doing this, and this to your ex? And you're like, what the F are you talking about? Jeopardizing your job. There ain't no coming back from this. I'm writing this because I want to ask if anyone's been in anything similar and how to manage the situation. I feel it was respectful in taking 2 days off to myself before inviting her to remove her things whatever worked for her. But she keeps posting about me attacking her and making fun of her for seeking therapy. He also says the things that made me the most upset was when she said that she would not go back to work for a few months until therapy was done. And now she left her company, wanted me to pay for her and to go to therapy too after she lost her benefits, something I forgot to add in my post, along with saying that I can't afford it. And she said, I can afford it because of my salary. So we're going to start part 2 in a moment. What should he do in a situation like that? What should any guy do in a situation like that? Talk to a lawyer immediately. Find out all your options, what you can do to protect yourself. Restraining order, defamation suit, whatever. Because she's going after, it's bad enough with friends and family posting this stuff online, defamation, but jeopardizing his job. And you're going to see that isn't just it. But see how freaking mental she's gone. And this is why I say you must spend years getting to know the girl. And also have real life situations come about to see how she responds to it. Hell hath no fury. Now, on to the update. He says here, we would have been married already if not for COVID making us delay the plans. Well, thank the Lord for the COVID delaying his plans, huh? But after everything that happened, I believe it was for the best. A manager in a different department of her office was retiring, and she was chosen to be promoted in her place. Her promotion wouldn't start until the woman left, and it would have been the first that she's ever been a manager in her life. Okay, it's called responsibility. Most people would celebrate the promotion and all that. However, as the promotion neared, she decided to ghost her job, pretend, well, he's doing a recap there. We all know what happened here. See if I can skip past some of this. It says here, when she came clean about what she did, she said she wanted to go to therapy to work on herself, blah, 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 because I could afford it, while also covering her side of the rent. And that was when I said I needed a break for her lying for 3+ weeks to reconsider everything. Yeah, aside from the therapy, she also wanted this dude to cover her expenses. I told her I needed a day, and she agreed to stay at a friend's house, and 2 days later, I told her I was done and wanted to collect her things, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's what happens next. He says, as I stated, the last time about her response, she took to Twitter and said that I had hit her after she admitted her anxiety to me. And she also wrote that she decided to break up with me after she opened up, and that I became aggressive and was against mental health. What a load of crap. What he was against was you lying to him and then just assuming that he should just pay for everything. Remember, guys, if he married her, this could have happened then, right? Or she just could decide, hey, I don't want to work anymore. I want to be a stay-at-home mom, even though I'm not a mom yet. That type of thing. She also reached out to my job, which led to me getting called into the office. And since my last post, her friend has joined her and spreading the lies too. So it isn't just her. Now she has her witness saying, oh, yes, he did this and that. Well, here's the thing. Okay, she's claiming that he did these things. Where's the proof? Are there any marks? Did she make a police report? Did she go to the hospital? No. The friend who she was staying with, Stacy, her friend, a fake name, posted about how my ex-fiancé crashed with her because I was aggressive in the past. Now she's saying he did it in the past. And didn't want to accept the promotion. She also posted I was jealous and insecure and threatening her to not accept it too. So, of course, you had to throw in the jealous, insecure, those type of typical insults. I have since reached out to an attorney who's been helping me a ton, but I've lost some friends who decided to take her side, and she didn't even have the decency to get her stuff. Good, he contacted an attorney, and to no surprise, he's lost some friends. You know, it's always bad situations that are going to show you who your friends are. And what I say here with these so-called friends are, I'd have nothing to do with them. Unless literally they came to realize she was full of crap, and they literally came back on their knees saying they're sorry and asking for a second chance, I'd have nothing to do with those motherfuckers ever again. It's the tough situations that really reveal people's characters and who your friends are. Life's too short. She sent 2 of her friends while she waited in the car, completely refusing to see me at all. He shouldn't have anything to do with her at this point. He shouldn't engage her at all on the social media or in person. She's going to use that against him. And while I didn't lose my current job, she called another job that she knew I was interviewing for some time, and I haven't heard back from my second interview since. Lawyer. Use the power of the lawyer. She obviously must have some money you can go after. She's impacting his career. He had every right to break up with her over this. I'm discussing how we can address that with my lawyer at the moment, but I wanted to ask how to move on not only from her, but also the friends who took her side, and how it's crept into other areas as well. It's just been really stressful seeing a new side to her through her lies. And it's really come as a shock in many ways. It's like she's done a complete 180 so fast, and it's really hard to focus on other things or gain sleep too. So, many of you are thinking what I'm thinking. The silver lining to the situation is this happened before he got married. He can at least call it off. Now, I'm sure working through his attorney, as I've heard stories like this before, he can get her to cut the crap posting the stuff online. He can obviously get her to leave his work alone and all that, and probably work things out with his employer. If obviously they like him there, he does a good job, and they're willing to listen. I don't know if his boss is a female or male. That being said, she's causing a lot of problems. I wouldn't engage her at all. Listen to your lawyer. Don't respond to that social media, all that bullshit. Don't engage her in text messages, emails, or whatever in person, because she's going to use anything and everything to come after this guy. And that's that. And I don't want to hear that, it's because of her anxiety. Bullshit. I know people that have anxiety problems. They don't behave like this, okay? She's just psycho. And he just can't believe that she took a 180 like this. Well, this is clearly who she is and who she was all along, but she's been hiding it. It's been lying dormant underneath her, and then one moment of rejection and kaboom. But of course, I guarantee you, once the screws start tightening on her from his lawyer, that's when the waterworks will begin. That's when the crying about anxiety and blaming everything but herself for how she behaved and her friend behaved. That's what's going to happen. So guys, like I said before, take your time in the relationships. Or this is only going to reinforce why so many of you guys don't have relationships. You don't need this kind of bullshit. And again, I'm sure this guy was a good boyfriend to her. He had a right to stand up for himself, and look what happened. Now I'm going to read some comments here, and what I'm going to do is, there's a bunch of people that commented, and he responds to them in varying amounts. So I'm going to read these, and you can see what he has to say. One guy says here, I wish you the best, and I hope you keep us updated. What does the lawyer say? He said, the lawyer said it was best to not engage in anything on Twitter or social media like her at the moment, because it could hurt us if I say something emotionally. There you go. Listen to your lawyer. Next comment, and this comment is stupid as shit. Listen to this. They said, as someone who has struggled with GAD, I understand her situation. I used to have severe anxiety. I'd get panic attacks just from being around too many people, couldn't look at anyone in the eyes, and I would freeze up to the point where my muscles would spasm from tension. That being said, while I do understand her situation, what she did was wrong. I understand completely that people with anxiety will avoid a situation at all costs, which is exactly what she did. Grow the fuck up. Get help. If it's causing, because guess what? I know people have anxiety, they have jobs, they have careers, they have to take care of business, and if they get deeply worried, they need help. But don't attack the person that's been giving you support all this time. He says, however, lying is never okay, especially to someone you intend to spend the rest of your life with and be married to. While you can never engage with your anxiety, never gauge when your anxiety will spike or what will trigger it, she had 2 weeks to tell you and never did. She had 2 weeks to talk to you, form a plan with you, and talk to her boss. And assuming her job provided health insurance, she had 2 weeks to find a therapist, but did not. It's your choice what you want to do. I personally wouldn't lead the relationship based on mental health. However, I would set boundaries and stipulations of her not working while doing therapy. Is this moron suggesting he goes back with her? After all this, after she posted all this stuff online and then got her friend to do it and went to his job, what could have gotten fired, and then contacted the place he was interested in working at, sabotaging the whole thing. Does this jackass really think he should go back with her? Because, boo-hoo, she has anxiety, he should just allow her to behave in what she did? Bullshit. But this shows you how stupid people are on Reddit. And the guy responded, the dude that wrote the story says, it was also everything she did after I asked for a day to myself to think that kind of made the decision for me too. Telling people online that I hit her and calling my job that got me talk to my boss and tell me that she wanted me to pay for her therapy for 2 months while she didn't work and wouldn't look for a job because my job can't afford it. Exactly. Yes, she did the bullshit before, but what she did afterwards, there's no going back to that. Another guy says here, do not have any contact with her that isn't recorded. Absolutely zero contact unless you're recording it. That goes for contact with any of her friends as well. Very smart, because her friends are going to bug him. Also look up Grey Rock. That's how you talk to her until she is out of your life. She wants to F your life up now and is actively trying to do so. And he responded, I'll be sure to do that. I'm just also having a hard time wrapping my head around everything she's done so fast, but I agree with being safe. Yeah, he can't believe this has happened. And a lot of guys that either send me their story or read online are always just flabbergasted, shocked that the gal who they thought they knew behaved in this way. And like that, they trigger. Another guy says here, look, she's got problems, big problems, but instead of facing them, she hides, blames others, and tries to manipulate you into being okay with this. Oh, now outright spreading hateful and harmful lies. Nope, you've done nothing wrong. In fact, your choices are right. Now to block her in every way you can and do damage control. Grieve, but get away from her and anyone who supports her BS. P.S. Sorry you had to go through this, but though you don't like don't feel lucky now. You made a very lucky escape. Anyway, again, he could have married her. And he says, literally got talked to at my job after she called them. Already blocked her on a lot of things, but the job thing surprised me. Another guy says here, serious character flaw. Lying to you and pretending are huge red flags. You should not be alone with her ever again, given her allegations. And he said here, apparently she lost her benefits after leaving. She said she wouldn't go back to work for a few months until after the therapy was done. Wanted me to pay for the therapy because I can afford it with my salary, and went to such lengths to lie and even bringing spare clothes in her car after getting dressed every morning to pretend to go to work. So there you go, guys. And again, it goes to show you, obviously, she knows what she's doing. She's very calculating, manipulative, and all that. And I think at the end of the day, it'll be worked out with his attorney. But still, the fact that he has to go through this bull crap. So be very careful, gentlemen. Be careful in your relationships, who you choose to get involved with, who you choose to let into your life. And if you're going to get married one day, you spend years. And he spent 5 years with her. And still, you didn't know until this situation. So in a way, it's good. You're with somebody for years, but also make sure you have real life situations like job loss or promotions or whatever thing that can cause an issue with her or your relationship come about, so you can see how she communicates, how she handles stress and anxiety, how she handles money. The list goes on and on. And when these real life situations happen, they show one's true character. And if she can't pass the test, then it's time to move on. And of course, the old rejection thing makes them crazy. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this. Let me know, guys, if you ever had an experience with this. You broke up with a girl for a very good reason, and then all of a sudden just kaboom. Dr. Jekyll and, Ms. Bitch, and how she reacted. I'd like to hear about that in the comment section. And be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. I'll catch you next time.